Blessings, Gemini, and welcome to my channel. You're watching Spotless Mind Tarot. My name is Cassandra, and today I will be your tarot reader. So we're going to do a yearly 2025 tarot reading. I'm going to pull one card for each month from January all the way to December. And we're going to see what is going to come up, what is predicted and forecasted for you. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. I've already pre-shuffled the cards, and so now we're going to start pulling. This is good for Gemini Sun mostly, but you can watch for your rising or your moon sign or any other placements. Cross watchers are also welcomed. So we're going to go ahead and pull some cards now. So the first card we got for January is the Sun. So things are gonna start off really, really good for you guys. I feel like there's going to be a lot for you to celebrate, a lot for you to be grateful for and thankful for. That's definitely a big theme for you in January. There's a lot of gratitude here, and I think it just has a lot to do with overall mood and feelings. So it's not so much like material abundance, although it could be. I'm getting more just personal, like freedom, personal liberation even. I feel like so much inside of you is just gonna be at peace. So much inside of you is going to feel fulfilled and complete. I feel like you're gonna have more time on your hands to do things that are personal for you, so engaging in hobbies and things like that. There's definitely a lot of playful energy here. I also feel like you're overqualified for something, like you just have a lot to offer for something that maybe doesn't have the capacity for it. So keep that in mind for January, not to overdo something. I'm not sure what that's for. It's different for everybody. So wherever you feel like you're giving too much, or you know that you are overqualified, or just like you have like, you're not even like so much overqualified, but you just have like an abundance of skill for. So anything that's related to your skill, whatever that may be, I feel like you're going to be put in a position where you could overperform. And so, I mean, it's up to you if that's what you want to do, if you think overperforming is going to benefit you later on, or even just in that moment. Otherwise, I feel like just overall you have a lot to offer for a space that maybe either can't contain all of it, or maybe it's not necessary. So you do want to evaluate that for yourself. Do you want to pull back, or do you want to go ahead and give it your all? You know, this is a Leo energy. This is sun energy mostly, but the sun rules Leo. So there's that like feeling of like not so much needing to entertain other people, but it's almost like you feel like obligated in a way, or in a sense, to like give yourself in a way that's considered to be like Leo. So dramatic, just like overly excited or something like that. I feel like you're trying to, this could be really specific and like to like one or a few people, but it's like you're trying to uplift other people for whatever reason that may be. I feel like you're really just trying to give off this energy, and I think a lot of it just has to do with the fact that you have so much of it within you, and so you need a place to give that energy, to release that energy. And so I think that's why like doing hobbies or engaging in activities that are mean something to you, or you have a strong interest for, would be really good. So that way you can get that energy out and get that I guess just get it out of your system, because you just have so much of it, and it needs an outlet. That's the word I'm trying to look for. Your sun energy, your Leo energy needs an outlet, as Leo energy naturally does. So, which usually manifests into like attention, whether that's good or bad. That's the vibe and energy of Leo. It's about attention and entertaining others and just giving others that sun energy. So that's what I got for you guys in January. So for February, we got the Four of Wands, and so that feel-good energy of January is transitioning into February now, where I feel like it's going to be more stabilized and more productive. It's not going to be all over the place, where in January it might be a little all over the place, in the sense that like you're just going to have so much energy and so much to offer. And in February, I think it's going to be a bit more concentrated, and the focus is heavily to do with home and family. It could even deal with a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic, but just a relationship that's really important to you. It could be a relationship with yourself as well. I feel like February is also really busy in terms of work and career, or school if you're a student, or both. I think you're just gonna, I feel like February is a transitional time for you guys, and we're ending winter in February and going into March, and so it's like the end of the season, the end of the astrological year. And so, yeah, February seems very transitional, but I feel like that feel-good energy is going to stabilize more. You could also be going out more to parties, or group events. I feel like that's a big theme. Maybe there's a wedding or a company party of some kind. There's even a promotion for somebody. So because it is transitional, that can mean anything. It could be metaphorical or quite literally transitioning from, one position to another, maybe changing residence. Although I feel like for the most part, you're going to be pretty grounded and stable. Even if there's a lot of activity going on, or even if you do a lot of travel, I still feel like you're going to stay put more. And that could just be your overall energy and vibe. It could just be just a more concentrated energy, a more focused energy for February. So this is Venus in Aries. Okay, so I would look at Aries in your birth chart if you're familiar with your birth chart. If you're not, it's totally fine. But maybe there's some kind of activation there in the house of Aries, or even wherever your Venus sign is. There could be an activation there. I feel like, yeah, I did mention relationships seem to be on the forefront. I feel like you could meet somebody, even if you're in a relationship. I feel like you could still meet someone really important. Maybe even just like a past life lover or something. I do get a stronger sense of romance, but it could just be big feelings overall. It doesn't have to be romantic in the sense that like you want to marry this person, but it could just be like you really love this person, you really care about this person, even if it's not in a romantic way. It could just be romantic in the sense that, let's say, like, you're a hopeless romantic, and so, this is Venus energy, it's Venusian energy, and so you could just, like, some people, like, I relate it to like an Aquarius, where they're really flirty, and like they'll flirt with anyone and everyone, I mean, generally speaking, and but like they're detached from it, like, I mean, yeah, maybe their heart's in it, but they're also kind of detached from it. And it's kind of like a Leo energy thing too, to do that as well, to kind of just flirt with everyone and make everyone feel good. So that's like the vibe I'm getting, you know. It's so it could be romantic like that, where it's very playful romance, so it's nothing like serious or anything. Okay, so I think that's it for February. Things look really good. I'm also getting something about cleaning or just like organizing. I don't know why this reminds me of like a shelf or something, and like kind of tidying things up, like the way they're stacked, the wands. It's like perfect. It's in clear view. So I don't know, that could be a message for something. So let's go ahead and look at March. So for March, we got 2 cards. We got the 4 of Cups, and we got the King of Pentacles. Okay, so immediately I feel like you're declining offers of some kind. You're could even be turning your back on somebody or something and just focusing more on yourself. Because with the King of Pentacles, this is somebody who's very solitary. This is someone who's really focused on their own personal growth and success. You know, it is Virgo energy, but it's earth sign energy overall. And so they tend to be a bit more focused on themselves. So you could also be dealing with a Virgo here that maybe you're, let's say you had always been able to rely on because they're just reliable and they wanted to be reliable. And now there's something going on in their life, whether it's by choice or, you know, it's just the circumstances that they're in. They're unable to provide any kind of support for you or any kind of help for you. So that's something to think about if you know a Virgo. If you're watching this, especially like when I'm recording this in December 2024. So if you're watching this like way ahead and not month by month, or even just month by month, whatever, I would just take caution to that. Be prepared for that, especially if there's somebody that's like a business partner or spouse or a parent, somebody where you guys, you know, or a roommate even, like, you know, you both pay the rent or something, and let's say your roommate loses their job and collect unemployment now, and it's like really low, and so they're not able to make the full amount of rent money, so you're gonna have to compensate for that. Maybe you can make a deal, obviously, to where they can pay it back at a later date, but it could be something like that where you were once relying on something or someone and you can no longer rely on that resource anymore come March. Okay, and so that could also have you being more focused on yourself and your own personal growth, because for whatever reason, maybe you just have the time to now, or maybe because of the lack of support from the other person, you're kind of forced to have to rely on yourself. You know, you kind of don't have a choice. I would also say, aside from everything I just said, this is also a good time for planning, because Virgo energy is really good at planning and setting goals. And you know, I would relate like spreadsheets to Capricorn, although it could fall for any earth sign. And I would say Virgo is like the details of the spreadsheet, or like they're like able to like, I don't know, like in this situation I feel like a management kind of thing, even though I get management more heavily from Capricorn, although I think Virgo would be a better manager because Capricorn tends to do things on their own and for selfish needs, whereas Virgo, they'll do it on their own, but it's to serve other people in some way. It's there's a purpose for it. It's not just a personal thing. It's for everybody else. Okay, so there's a message there. Now I like forgot what I just was talking about. So because I'm just channeling. These are just messages coming to me. Okay, so that message got out, whatever I just said. with the Four of Cups, it's a concerning for me. I've been getting it a lot lately in readings, so I think there's something to it then. There could be a collective thing going on. This is Moon in Cancer, so self-care would be important too. It could be a sign that you need to take better care of yourself. It could also be a need for you to connect to your mother or mother figure, or maybe you are a mother yourself, and so anything to do with the mother, however that looks, or even like, Mary, the Virgin Mary, whatever mother figure in your life is important. I feel like that's a source you can turn to, that is reliable, even if it's not like financially or even emotionally. There's just something about that mother energy that is just like really prominent and really important, and something you can turn to. So it could even just be like turning to the Virgin Mary or to the goddess in general and seeking guidance and support from her. So that's what we got for March. So for April, we got the Knight of Wands. And so I would say the beginning of the year, January could be pretty active, and then February, March might be a little more sedentary, a bit more less active. I feel like in April, things are going to pick up again. This is the springtime, and so the vibes are good, the energy's good, the flowers are blooming, like everything's like coming back to life, and so are you. We're a month away from your birthday season, so that could be another reason for you to be active at this time. You want to think about your solar return, and everything that comes up 3 months prior to your solar return is like a preview into what your birth year ahead is going to look like. It's like your own personal New Year's. And so, you get a new chart every year. When your birthday comes around, you get a solar return chart, and this chart shows you the kind of person you're going to be for that year at that age. And so things that come up, so that's why like around your birthday you can just completely be a different person, or just like things just completely change for you, and the course of the direction in your life changes after your birthday, and that's all because of the solar return. And so I feel like you can get some clues into what your birth year ahead's going to be like in April. There's a lot of activity here. I feel like there's a lot of like studying or interest in higher learning, higher knowledge. This is actually Leo energy. I was picking up Leo energy in the beginning of the year, and so January and April can be connected in some way. We have the Sun and now the Knight of Wands. And so, this is about action. This is about movement. You could also receive a really important message, something about creativity, because this is Wands. It could be your own spirit, your own soul, because fire represents the soul, represents the spirit energy. It's the first element, and so the driving force in all of our life is the fire within us. And so it could just be activated at this time as well. Like your ambitions and goals get activated. What did I say for February? To like plan ahead, right? Whatever that planning was. I don't think I got the message out clear enough, but regardless, I did mention something about planning ahead in February. And so April's here now. You could see your plans come to fruition, or you can probably kickstart your plans. And since I said kickstart, maybe somebody's starting a Kickstarter for a project that they're working on. So if you are looking for funds for something like that, like a project, or you're starting up a business or something like that, anything like that, I feel like you can get those funds. Or even if you're doing some kind of charitable work, I feel like it's going to be really successful. I'm also getting something about like a raffle. So either you're going to host a raffle of some kind, or you can enter into a raffle. I'm not sure if you're gonna win or not. I'm not here to predict that, but that's just something that's gonna happen whether or not you win or not. Just that's something that's going to come up. Okay, so April, a lot of forward movement, a lot of like just coming out of that winter season. I feel like a lot of you probably live where it gets really cold in the winter, like, and you guys get snow. I mean, I live in the desert, so it doesn't really get too cold. I mean, it's cold for me. I'm cold, or I'm either too cold or too hot. It doesn't matter. Like, my hands and feet get cold, and like, I'll be the only one with like beanies and gloves on, and like, that's just how I am. I get really cold really easily. But yeah, like, that could also just be like the vibe, like, the winter. Maybe you're in that kind of moody winter place where you're kind of like in hibernation almost, and come April, you come out of hibernation, you come out more, and you really embrace the springtime and just that more like sunny, bright energy. All right. Okay, so for May, we got the 10 of Swords. So things were going good. So I don't know what happened here, but for May, things can kind of, I don't know, you could probably enter into a dark phase in your life, or even just, I feel like things are going to slow down for you. So even if things don't manifest the way that this card looks, where, you don't, there's 10 swords in this poor man's back, he's completely defeated. That could just be the energy for May. You could just feel depleted, defeated, maybe just really drained, and it could be for good reasons. Like, maybe you're just overwhelmed with so much fun activity, or maybe it's just, things catch up to you, or things pick up at work, and so now you have a lot of stress going on. But either way, I feel like, if anything, maybe May would be a good month for rest and relaxation, to kind of pull away from things that you don't need to give your energy to. Also, just feel overall like there's like burnout here. So it doesn't have to be like a negative thing, and it doesn't have to be the entire month either. It's just, there's just burnout in May. There's just like some kind of defeat in May. Okay, you might have to give up something as well. This is Sun and Gemini energy, ironic enough, and May begins Gemini season at the end of May, going into June. And so yeah, if your birthday is in May, I would definitely just take it easy. Maybe even take time off during your birthday. Like, don't go to work on your birthday, or like the day before and the day after as well. You want to treat it like it's a full moon. So maybe you'll have a full moon on your birthday. If there's I don't know what the planets are doing. I'm not focused on the astrology for these readings, but I don't know. So I don't know what kind of full moon's gonna happen in May. It could happen in Taurus season, or it could happen in Gemini season. But either way, I would say any full moon that happens in Gemini season is another time to take time off, because I think it's just gonna really like deplete you of all energy. Like, you're not gonna be able to get out of bed. Okay, and so that's something to think about, and something to take caution for May. So with all that said, I would say take it easy in May, and don't take on anything new that you don't have time for, or it's gonna like cost you time. I feel like time is important, and also just be mindful of your own mental space as well. I feel like mental activity can be heightened. We do have Pluto in Aquarius now, and so that is trining anything you have in Gemini. Even if it's just your ascendant sign, you're getting that trine, and so you're getting a lot of activation from Pluto. It could be good, it could be bad. It really depends on what you got going on in your life and your perceptions of things. I love Pluto personally, so I don't struggle with that energy, but some people do and some people can. I mean, I still can struggle with it, but I'm a Pluto dominant in my chart, so it's generally for the better. So Pluto can just bring up dark things like this. It could just bring up things that are uncomfortable. However that looks, I don't want to get into too many details with that because it's going to be really specific for each person. But just keep that in mind. All that Plutonian energy could start coming up for you guys once Gemini season comes around. Okay, so for June, we got the Tower. And so something really unexpected, or maybe it is expected, will happen. Either way, something really sudden is going to happen, and it's going to collapse something in your life. It's going to bring an end to something that's no longer serving a purpose. And so with whatever comes up in June, whatever is falling away and falling apart, please allow it to fall apart, because otherwise you resist the Tower, it's just going to be a lot harder. And I think the best thing for June is to trust and have faith that things are going to work out and everything's actually okay, even if it doesn't seem like that. Of course, if you are in a dangerous position or if you need professional help, please seek all that help that you need. But either way, you know, I wouldn't fear too much about this. It's just things need to fall apart in order for them to come together. And so under that, we have the Two of Cups. So this could be relationships. Overall, I just feel like your comfort level is going to go way down. Okay, so if this is relationship, just be really mindful of that. Be mindful of what you say. If you're not in the mood, let it be known. Like, hey, this month isn't good for me, you know, especially because last month you got the 10 of Swords. So that energy can kind of carry over into June. So if you need time for yourself, let it be known, and just you know, don't be apologetic about it either. Just let people know, like, hey, like, things aren't good right now. I just need some time to myself, okay? Or I need more quiet time. Or, you know, maybe you need more hugs in your life, okay? But yeah, things are just going to get disrupted. There's going to be miscommunication, so I don't know if there's like a Mercury retrograde or anything going on in June. Whatever retrograde's going on in June maybe is going to really affect you, so be mindful of that as well. I have no idea, of course, what's going to happen because I'm not looking at the astrology. So yeah, again, your comfort levels are just going to go down. Things are going to be a little more serious in June. But at the same time, like, if we just look at the Two of Cups on its own, this is a good card because it's a feel-good energy. It's about uniting and bringing together. So whatever does fall apart, I think it's meant to bring something together. So it could bring you and another person closer together. Maybe there's some kind of crisis that does that. Of course, I'm hoping for the best for you guys. I'm not trying to, you know, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat this either. I'm just relaying the messages I get. But like, whatever happens, I feel like you're safe and that there's someone you can turn to or something you can turn to that's going to bring you comfort, at least enough to keep you calm and cool, and also like give you faith, you know, that everything's going to work out. So yeah, this might be a month to fall back, whether that's on somebody or just falling back in general, okay? For July, we got the Chariot, and so I think this is pretty cool because the past few months here, things seem to kind of have slowed down a bit for you guys, and things got kind of gloomy there. So now we've reached July, and I think things are going to pick back up for you guys. You guys are going to get back on the saddle, get back on your horse. There's going to be a new sense of direction or a change in direction, however that may look for you. So that's going to manifest in any area of your life. This is a card of Cancer, and so it could be wherever Cancer is in your chart, or if you have any planets in Cancer, they can be activated and leading the way for you. Either way, it doesn't have to deal with that energy at all, but that is the energy of this card. And so with that said, you could start feeling better overall about yourself in any situation that you're in. I feel like things are just going to pick back up for you. I feel like it's almost like you have a new sense of purpose. There's like a rebirth. So there could be a rebirth that happens after June or during June. And I really think it's that Pluto trining that Gemini energy, because Pluto's in Aquarius now. And so, and it's going to happen. For 20 years, you're going to have Pluto trining you guys. Isn't that wonderful? And so, it's Gemini season is it's going to be really interesting for you guys the next 20 years, especially when it's like directly trining your sun or any planets that you have in Gemini. Like that's going to be a wild activation. Trines are good things. Okay, it's a positive. I would say it's harmonious, but just because it's harmonious, that's the energy. Like the energy is harmonious, the energy flows better. But we're dealing with Pluto, so just keep that in mind, that Pluto doesn't always play nice. So you want to get on Pluto's good side, but also just understand that Pluto's here to deeply transform your life, and you're gonna go through some kind of rebirth. You're gonna go through some kind of metamorphosis, and so keep that in mind. I feel like I can make a whole video about that for you guys, but we're not going to. So yeah, July overall, I just get like a pick-me-up energy. I get a sense that things are just going to turn around, quite literally. Cancer season, especially in July, we start the month in Cancer season, and so you can even start seeing this happen at the end of June. So that Tower card moment in June is probably gonna be really short-lived. I mean, it can have a long-lasting impact on your life, but the situation itself is going to be short-lived. For August, we got the Page of Cups. And so I feel like Leo energy is going to be activated in your chart. We did start the year with the Sun card, and I feel like that kind of sets the theme for the entire year for you guys. And so, Sun energy, Leo energy seems to be a big theme for you guys this year. Maybe a lot of you are going to be breaking out of your shell more and like really shining, coming to the spotlight, rising to success, stepping up to the podium, things like that. So August, we do get Leo season in the middle of August. And so I feel like there's development happening in August. There's a lot more internalizing, a lot more like, I get like Shakespeare vibes, or like, who's the one that like he's holding a skull and he's looking at it and saying some kind of poetic shit. I don't know. To be or to not to be. I don't know. Is that what he's doing? I don't know what I'm confusing the whole like someone's talking to a skull thing with. But it's something like that where you're just kind of like observing. So it could be self-observance or just observing the earth, or just like this material reality that we live in. So you could be questioning things, questioning your purpose or beliefs or anything like that, or just questioning in general. Like there's a sense of curiosity here in August, and I think it's just more for like how can I incorporate this into my life? I'm getting the sense like he's looking at this fish in a cup and he's like asking like, how does this fish relate to me? Like, am I a fish in a cup? Like something silly like that. Like, but it's deep and it's profound. Okay, it's not that silly. So yeah, just like that's kind of like just the vibe. Like maybe you're trying to see yourself in the world, see yourself in the flowers and nature. So it's like really poetic. August could be a really poetic time. It might be a good month to just kind of write poems, even if you don't take it seriously, just write something. So you could have a lot of creativity when it comes to writing or just speech, with the way you think, the words you use when you're speaking. That could be a thing for you in August. for September, we got the Magician. And so, anyways, we got the Magician. And so, I don't know what that means, me dropping the card like that. I always take everything with these cards as a sign. So I don't know what that means, but yeah, the Magician. So this is a good month for you to manifest things into existence, to really just take control. I feel like all that observation you did in August, all that like pondering your existence in reality, is going to help you come September. I feel like it's going to make you want to like do something about it now. Instead of pondering about it now, it's like you're taking action. So you could quite literally get involved in like witchcraft or the occult, or just like manifestation skills, whatever that is. There's so many different things you could do to manifest. I mean, and I say manifest because like I'm a bit more deterministic when it comes to things, and so like I feel like whatever we manifest is something that we were determined to manifest anyways. But I mean, regardless, if you want to like break out of the matrix or whatever, I feel like that's like another theme, because there's like some kind of like rebellious nature to this, but also like you just like honing in on your power. So if it has nothing to do with like witchcraft or the occult or manifesting, it's just overall like you're gonna have this overwhelming sense of confidence, and like synchronicities are just gonna happen left and right. I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of things that happen that's just like there's no way this is a coincidence. Okay, like this is divine timing. This is like stuff that I've like things that you think about and want, like you're gonna get, or something like, or you'll think of a word and then you'll see the word written on the side of like a truck or something, you know, like just things like that. So it could be like a really magical month, maybe even a little spooky depending on like what you're doing. So be mindful of that. If you are dabbling into witchcraft or anything, you know, be aware of what you're dealing with. So even just with manifestations, you know, like blowing out birthday candles is witchcraft. Okay, like that's you're setting an intention on a candle and blowing it out. Like that's magic. So you know, it's very minor. Okay, you're not really conjuring spirits or anything, but you are doing something, right? You are being a magician of some sort. And so just, yeah, be mindful of which tunnels you go down. But overall, I think things are just going to be really, like, I feel like it's just really lighthearted. So I don't think it's anything too deep. But I mean, it depends on who you are and what you do. If you're already into magic and the occult, then it could get really intense. Otherwise, I think this is just really playful and just like exciting, like, and almost like I don't know, I just get like a sense like a birthday party, and like magic tricks, or like a magician at a birthday party, or like a clown at a birthday party, like, you know, where it's just kind of imaginative, and it's really playful, and like, you know, it's not real, but it's still really cool and really fun, and you like the illusion of it all. And so that's the vibe we got for September. For October, we got the Star card, and so there's like more of that magician energy carrying into October, which is pretty cool, because at the end of October we do get Scorpio season, and so that is like the season of the ancestors, and where the veil is thinning, and like, you know, we have connection to the spirit world. And but with the star, it's generally more to do with like the cosmos and things like that. So things could be coming into alignment for you in October. So if you want, just like go ahead and look at the astrology for October and what's coming up, and see how it's affecting your chart, because there could be something aligning for you in the stars. Okay, maybe something becomes visible, like a planet, or maybe we get like another comet or something. I guess we got like, well, I don't guess, I know we got a comet that paid a visit. The last time anyone on Earth saw it was like 80,000 years ago or something. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. I mean, I saw some cool pictures online, but I didn't get to see it for myself. So maybe something like that happens in October as well, like something becomes visible in the sky. If so, even better for you guys, like even more karmic, because obviously I'm pulling this for Gemini, so it's got to account for something, right, in your life. But overall, things could just be coming into an alignment, a perfect alignment. Also, this is the wish card, so this is a good month to see your wishes and dreams come true, or to set wishes and dreams, to make goals and things like that. I feel also like a cleansing, a renewal. You know, the woman on here is naked, so it's like a purity, or just like a cleansing, you know, just being stripped down to the core of who you really are, inside this meat flesh, you know, this flesh prison we live in. I'm just joking. But like, yeah, there's like a lot to do with the body, I guess. That's what I'm getting. So maybe it'd be a cool idea to go to a hot springs, or get baptized. Maybe someone's going to be baptized this month in October. Yeah, just something to do, something that symbolizes the body in like a pure and like holy sense, and like a rebirth almost. So there could be a rebirth happening in October. Okay. The vibes are heavy, but it's a good heavy. I mean, the star card for me is always, not always, but it is like a heavy vibe, because it has a lot to do with the cosmos and the astrology, and just like reality, just life, the universe. It's the past and the future meeting in the present moment. Okay, temperance is like that too, the card temperance, to where it's like mixing things together. So this is like just bringing the past and the future together, which I know some people don't believe the future exists, but if you're deterministic, then the future exists. I feel like all time exists all at once, but because of like, we live on Earth, and you know, this is a realm of some sort, and gravity slows down time to where we have any kind of like perception of time to begin with. It's because of gravity. At least in my theory, I believe that the future is happening. It just hasn't, we just haven't caught up to it yet. And so then it's kind of like what the star card is. It is about the past and the future aligning into the present moment. And so it can deal with fate, and you aligning to your fate, which has a lot to do with your future. So that's October for you guys. Okay, so for November, we got the 5 of Swords. And so, and I also saw the High Priestess. It's at the bottom of the deck. And so with the High Priestess, I'm not going to hold it up, but that just has a lot to do with trusting your own intuition and believing in the guidance that you receive from above, instead of relying on what you see in the physical reality. November, I feel like there can be some defeat in November. Maybe for some, like something's taken away from you. But I think overall in November, it's a time for you to kind of just accept things for what they are. So if there are any losses that occur, to just kind of like accept it, because like it's like let bygones be bygones. You can't win it all right? And so there's something of that nature happening. This is Venus in Aquarius, so Venus is once again being activated for you guys. So far in the readings, we got a strong emphasis on Venus, the Sun in Leo, and even Aquarius. And so Pluto might be doing something for you guys in November, or if there's anything else that's in Aquarius at that time, could be activating your chart in some way. So yeah, I just get like, let bygones be bygones, let the good times roll. Just like, it is what it is. Like those are the things I'm getting from this. Yeah, and then, you know, since we did get the High Priestess here, I'll just show it. The High Priestess, it is about just being in the flow and kind of just letting things occur instead of trying to take control, because the High Priestess, she doesn't have control of her intuition per se. She doesn't have control of the flow of the movement of consciousness and, you know, the universal flow. She's just a vessel of some sort to receive that. And so that's just something, a place where you could be in November. And an archetype to tap into is the High Priestess, to tap into that archetype of being the vessel and just allowing the universe to just flow through you and allow whatever comes up to come up, and just like allow it to come in and allow it to leave. So this is a month of just letting go of control and to not get too caught up in your losses. I mean, it's not a complete loss. Like, he's got some swords on the floor and like people are walking away. And it looks like he's like picking up the mess. So you might have to pick up some after something or someone, a situation, but it's like, it's not as bad as what it seems. The clouds are clearing. Okay, in the card, like, the sun's coming back out, and so like that's the vibe for November. You kind of just gotta let things flow and allow things to just occur as they're meant to occur. Okay, for December we got the Six of Pentacles, and so it's very fitting because it's holiday month, right? It's holiday season and it's all about giving. And so December, you might find yourself really giving, and not just to like anybody in particular. I feel like you're just going to have a lot to offer. And so it could be financial, it could be material, but that giving could manifest in any way in your life. Whatever is like appropriate for you and whatever you're able to do, of course. Whatever it is that you're giving away a lot of, you have an overabundance of, and it's not going to deplete your resources. And so it, like I said, it could be literally anything that you give away. So yeah, like that's December. You could also be receiving a lot of help as well. I mean, this could be like a full circle here where, and now I'm thinking about the time. What did we get? There was a month, I think it was March, right, where there was like a Virgo or somebody you've had to deal with, somebody you're once relied on that you couldn't rely on anymore. Maybe in December they're able to come back around. So I did give like a roommate analogy. Maybe your roommate finally is able to get a job in December and now they can like pay you back or something. So that if that's not the case, overall you could just be getting paid back, getting a refund, getting compensated for something. There's like a lot coming in, and so there's a lot that's also going out. So like if you're finding yourself spending a lot of money, have no worries, because I feel like that money is going to come right back to you in some way or shape or form. Of course, don't just take my advice and start spending expecting it to come back, okay? I'm just reading the cards. So yeah, like that seems to be the biggest theme for December. There's a lot to give and there's also a lot to receive. And again, I feel like you're going to get help from a familiar source. And so, yeah, that's what I got for December. So, Gemini, thank you for watching, and thank you for getting to the end of the video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. I hope that these messages reached you well and, you know, can give you insight into the year ahead. And of course, I'm going to upload these every month. This part of the video is not going to make it into those videos, but if you are watching every month, thank you again for watching every month. Even if you already watched it this year video, I really appreciate you guys, and it's been a lot of fun. I think 2025 it's gonna be an interesting year, but I think it's still gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty chill. I don't think there's gonna be too much anything out of the ordinary happening, except for the few times Pluto comes into question. All right, so thank you once again for watching, and if you would like a private reading, right now in December 2024, I'm not taking any private readings because I have a lot of work and I gotta make these videos for YouTube as well. But I will be picking up private readings again come January, so if you're interested, please stop by my Etsy shop. The link for that is below in the description. And if you haven't yet already, please like, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, comment, all that stuff, whatever. Or not, I really don't care. I'm just happy to be here and happy to give you messages. So thank you once again for watching.